purpose of this particular panel is to talk about, to kind of frame what are the issues that you think are addressing African American LGBTQ people, and are we addressing them in your opinion, and in what ways do you think that we need to better address those things? So it's a broad question, but just to kind of frame our conversation today.
As we all know, the big elephant in the room that a lot of folks don't want to talk about is that though we are proud, or are we, is the question of Black Gay Pride, the biggest thing is that what plagues us is Black Gay Pride has become synonymous with sex party. And we don't get a chance to actually showcase our talents, showcase our education, showcase the community in positive lights, because we have allowed for other things to define us. I also believe that what plagues our community is financial illiteracy. A lot of us know that LGBT culture is a superficial culture. It deals with a lot of the body beautifuls, the haves and the have-nots, in a way that taints us. And a lot of us, as the keynote speaker was saying again, a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Some of us don't have jobs at all. And yet we know how to go to a ball. We know how to come here to Black Gay Pride. We stunt, we this, we that. And that there becomes an issue that we have to contend with.
My name is Marian Adams, and I am the founder and current board chair of Sammy Nobla, National Organization of Black Lesbians on Aging. Thank you. In the latest edition of OLOC, Old Lesbians Organizing for Change, a writer made the following observation, quote, "As a resident in an old age community, average age 85, I can testify that silence is the rule among old lesbians and gays," end quote. Many of you sitting here today are probably wondering, well, what does that have to do with me? I am not old, and I don't know any old lesbians, gays, bisexual, transgender, or queer people. I don't even want to think or talk about getting old. We are indeed a beautiful, diverse community made up of all kinds of differences: gender, race, class, ability, and orientations. But the one common denominator that we all share is aging. If we stay on this planet long enough, we will all get old. Conversely, how we age and where we age depends on our gender, our race, our class status, and our shared identities. For the first time in the history of this country, we are the first generation of Black people who have lived openly as lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender and queer people in large numbers. So much about the lives of older Black queer people are invisible because they're often not present when we gather. Look around you. How many old Black queer people do you see in this room who are 75, 80, 85, 90? We are here.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Well, the question that has been posed is such a big one. Maybe you're catching up my accent. I'm from the other side of Georgia, if you're wondering where I'm from. Thanks. The issue that has been posed, the question has been posed has a lot of issues depending where you're coming from. Just yesterday, a friend of mine, and I live in Macon, I teach at Macon State. A friend of mine who's a school principal of a middle school called me yesterday and said, "Shimani, what do I need to do? I have a middle grader who just came out as a lesbian. I do not know what to do." And she's saying she's getting bullied by her classmates. But at the same time, I don't think my community is also ready to address the issue of gays and lesbians in middle schools. So then the question was, well, what's your call as an educator, what's our commitment? Our commitment is to educate all kids, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from. And of course, we believe that education is an equalizer for all people. So there's something we need to do then, which means the responsibility is about us.
Hey everybody, I'm Simone Bell, State Representative for Georgia House District 58. Hey. I think one of the things that I really want to talk about today is someone mentioned during this process, I think Earl Folks mentioned it, is the 2012 election. As an elected official here in Georgia, I kind of want to bring it home a little bit. I want us to very much be concerned about the 2012 election, which is when we elect our next president, and our hope is that we're going to re-elect President Barack Obama. One of the things, however, that I want to do in addition to that is I want to encourage you to get involved in your local elections, because that really is where we are being attacked on so many levels. And when I say we, I'm speaking of all of the citizens of Georgia. And I think that this is also an issue specifically for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. Most of you will know that through my campaign, the way that I look at politics is that all politics affects everyone, regardless of your sexual orientation or your personal identity. So what I want to encourage you to do is that in 2012, there are going to be a lot of additional seats that are up for election going into 2013 and 2014. I want you to find out who your state representative is. I want you to find out who your city council members are. I want you to know who your county commissioners are. Who is the Secretary of State for Georgia? Who is the Labor Commissioner for Georgia? Because a lot of the decisions that are made on those particular levels are the things that really affect our everyday lives when we step outside of our homes.
One of the things that I think is very important, and I spoke with Jeff Graham about this at Georgia Equality, is that we've got to move from being outside of those government institutions. Many times when there are issues regarding funding for programs, regarding legislation, we're all on the outside and we're rallying and we're protesting. And that's important, but I don't want to be outside in the sun anymore. I want to go inside where the legislators are at, and I want to talk to them, because that's where the real change takes place. In order to understand those intimate details, you have to sit down. A lot of time we put our elected officials on a platform, we almost demigod them and make them seem like they're so inaccessible and there's no way that we could possibly talk to them about what's going on in our local communities. They are elected by you, they are paid with tax dollars, and they are accountable to the public, not to a lobbyist, not to a political action committee. They're accountable to you. So the most important thing is that we get inside and have those intimate conversations with your legislators.